Tomorrow they'll clash at the MCG with the usual venom, but this time a place in the finals is at stake. David Loudon reports.
The rivalry began more than a century ago, but it was Carlton's ability to rob Collingwood of 3 premierships in 1970, 79 and 81 which sticks in the craw of today's Magpie supporters. Collingwood ruckman and Brownlow medalist Len Thompson knows only too well the bitterness of those defeats.
My first game against Carlton, I was carried off on a stretcher. The one I probably remember more than anything else is the 1970 final, which we were 8 goals in front and lost. So what we're coming up with now is part of tradition.
His opponent in the ruck duels was Percy Jones.
I arrived at Carlton and PERCY was the coach. He used to harp on us. The only one we have to win for the year is when we play the Woods. We have to beat Collingwood. He used to keep harping this.
Both David Parkin and Leigh Matthews are Premiership coaches and cunning strategists.
Really, I don't concern myself with second-guessing the opposition, to be honest, because I think there's no point in that. Carlton control where they play their players. But Earl Spalding hasn't played centre-half back a great deal, so that'd be something unusual if they decided to play him back there. And given that they played him in the forward line, well, yeah, you'd punt on Silvani being in defence, you'd think.
I would imagine that Silvani will play both ends of the ground by the time the day's finished. Hannah will probably play both ends of the ground by the time the day's finished. Spalding, like last week, will play both ends of the ground before the day's finished. I mean, the great thing about teams these days is they are versatile, makes your job more difficult, makes ours easier in one sense, but harder to predict the opposition. I think that's been terrific.
Both sides need to win to be sure of a place in the 6, although a loss would put great pressure on Collingwood because it plays Adelaide in the last round and Carlton meets Sydney at home. The Magpies are aware it's sudden death, but Matthews doesn't want the players to dwell on the fact.
You can't go out there so with it in your mind that it's the be-all and end-all, but getting that balance of sort of the desperation that has to come from knowing its backs to the wall, but concentrating on the job at hand.
If the Blues win tomorrow, they will once again have turned Collingwood's premiership dream into a nightmare. David Loudon, SBS Sport.
You'll recall last night...
Springfield gutting Symphony Hall, the Springfield Museum of Natural